Hey friends, welcome back to Simply Home and Harvest. We are starting a brand new week. Believe it or not, I'm out here. It's like 50 degrees. The sun is shining. It's a beautiful day. But yesterday we had our first snow of the season. Today is March 13th. So yesterday was March 12th. It was actually the first day of daylight savings time. And we had the first snow, which it didn't stick around. It was more of just a dusting, really. But it was pretty to see it fall, and it was pretty to see it leave, because by the time March arrives, I am ready to move on to spring. I really don't care if we get snow, if we haven't gotten it up to that point. But for all those that love snow that are here in Virginia, I'm sure you enjoyed seeing our little snowfall yesterday. So today everything's gone. All the snow's gone. Tim did get the garden tilled this week. I'm going to show you that. It's our first till of the season. So we'll probably have to get back in and till again, but I'll show you what we got done so far. So here's what it looks like today. He did go ahead, I think, I wasn't out here with him. We let the chickens back in here because we don't have anything planted in here yet. So we're letting them get in for a little bit. But I think that he did a second till of this side, because last week, I don't know if you watched that video, but we tried to break the ground. It was just so hard and it was so wet that he wasn't able to do that. So he got this side, and he thought that I normally leave a path of grass here, which I don't. So he's going to come back and get that up for me. And then he went ahead and did a first till on this side. So we typically do one good till. I know there's controversy in that. Some people say you should till, some people say you shouldn't till. I like at least a till or two because it makes it a lot easier to work the soil, and we've seen the benefits of that. So we'll keep doing what we know works for us. But I wanted to this video is probably just gonna kind of be a day in the life today, because it is Monday, and I'm gonna tell you a little bit about what we've got going on. But while we're out here, I was out here with Alex checking on the chickens. We are thinking about, or Tim is thinking about, this little area right here, which is up against our fence post. You'll see the cement where we got the fence post cemented in. We can't really grow anything right here. There's no dirt. You can't really till up this area. And so it's just wasted space. And I told him it'd be really nice to have some sort of like raised bed here that goes all the way across. So that's what we're thinking of doing right here. So we would do like, you know, boards on each side, and do like maybe I don't even know what that would be, if we would even come out a foot, but just a little raised bed there so that we could plant some things. And then we would just mirror that on this side, though we're not sure because we're able to till this area up. So it might just be on the one side, but that's the thought process there. And then if we do decide to grow our beans or peas this year, I had thought about, this is where you walk into the garden. I thought about maybe running like a trellis that goes up here like an archway as you come in, and then let the beans trellis on that. That was a thought that I had, so you guys can comment and let me know what you think about that. You know, I told you earlier that we're probably going to cut back on some of the things we grew last year and just maybe stick with what we know we'll eat. And like I said that before, and then I ended up growing all this okra that we just had so much of. And I mean, we did all eat it, but some of us liked it more than others. So I don't know how much okra we will grow this year, but this is what things look like so far. Not really a lot of plans to get much in the ground right now. I do have some onions I want to put in, and we've got some potatoes we want to sow, but I think it's still early for potatoes. Probably in the next couple of weeks. We'll also be planting some lettuce, but we'll have to get these girls out of here when we start doing all that, because they'll just pull it right back up. Okay, so the first thing I thought I'd bring inside and show you are our seedlings that we started last week. Now, I think the flower seedlings, I think they were started a week ago today. Then I did not start the or were they started on Tuesday? Should have written the date on here. It's either been 6 or 7 days since the flower seeds were started. And I'm going to show you what they look like. It's crazy. And then we started the vegetable seeds. Today is Monday, and we started the vegetable seeds on Thursday. So here's what they look like so far. I'll just lift the lid and show you the progress. So lots of little sprouts. And we planted some straw flowers, some zinnias, some dahlias, what else? Some marigolds. I think the marigolds are the ones that haven't come up yet, and that is typical for marigolds. They take a little bit longer to germinate, but the rest of them, I know there's one I'm forgetting that we planted. But as soon as they come up a little bit more, we'll go ahead and thin our seedlings out. And I'm pretty happy with the progress so far. And then up here, this is our vegetable seeds, and nothing has happened yet. But it's early still. But I'm stalking these little things. Check them every day just to see if there's any sprouts. So it won't be long. All right, we're inside now. And I wanted to show you an update on our baby chicks, which are not so baby-like anymore. Alex can help me remember, how old are they now?
Like 3.5 weeks.
3.5 weeks. All right, so we've had them for 3.5 weeks, so they could be close to 4 weeks old. It is amazing how much they change. And if you remember, okay, the darker colored ones are our Starlight Olive Eggers, and then the 3 lighter colored birds are Isa Browns. Isa Browns are members of the Rhode Island Red family. And that's why we got them. We wanted Rhode Island Reds and Barred Rocks, but it was getting later and later and later. And we needed to go ahead and get some chickens because we were going away in late spring and wanted to be able to get them outside and acclimated to the new coop before we left them in the care of someone else. So somebody's trying to get out. But they're fed. I mean, they are so, like, I asked Alex, do you remember this much of a mess or feathers flying we had last year? I know. We will have to blow out the whole basement when we're done with this venture. Anyway, after these 5, we're taking a break. We'll have 10 hens laying eggs, and that'll be enough for us to have enough eggs and for us to share with family and friends. And then we're gonna enjoy and love on the chickens we have and not worry about any more for a while. We'll have filled up our coop for sure. But we put a little roosting bar on here, and we take the brooder out during the day. We just keep it on them at night now. Well, we're starting that this week. And we got them a little roosting bar and just let them hang out. And I think they're happy. They like attention. This bunch definitely likes attention. But we can't get over their feathers and how colorful they are. It'll be cool to see what they end up looking like when they're full grown. So that's a little update. Everybody is alive and well. This is something else we've got going on today. We printed out our brackets for the NCAA men's basketball tournament. We are a basketball family, and we love March Madness. And this past weekend, our favorite team won their conference championship, the Duke Blue Devils. They are the ACC champions. So that was a fun thing to get to experience this weekend. And so now we've got to work on our brackets. And we do a little contest, the 4 of us. So funny, Ella has no interest really in basketball, and she always does so well in this. So we'll see who picks the winner. So stay tuned to see how well we do on our brackets. Sometimes there are weeks that are super busy. This happens to be one of them, and I find that this little calendar where I can jot down everything that we need to do during the week. Also, I put our meal plan on there for each week. It even has a little section for a grocery list. I picked this up at Aldi at the beginning of the year, and this is my 2nd year having one of these. And it is just such a helpful and neat little thing to keep in the kitchen. Though I am extremely thankful for this busy season in our lives, it has come with the challenges. I'm just going to be honest with you. I have struggled recently with feeling overwhelmed, feeling anxious, even fearful at times. And I know that is just not coming from a good place. I know that God gives us the spirit of love and joy and peace, and those feelings of fear try to creep in, and a lot of times it comes from just a place of us trusting in ourselves and not in God to direct our steps. So I've really had to be more mindful of that lately, just to step back, to breathe, and just know that I don't have to have it all under control. In fact, I don't need to be in control of all. I need to be able to let go, trust God, and just know that His will and His plans for my life are perfect, that He is sovereign, that I don't need to fear because He goes before me. So I can have peace trusting in that fact. So I shared that in hopes that it will be an encouragement to you today. If you're going through a similar season, sometimes we can feel alone, and I don't want you to ever take away from this channel that I have it all together or live a perfect life, because I have to trust in my faith in God every day to get me through. I'm trying to decide, do I want to go ahead and make applesauce, because I probably would have to can it. And, it takes a while, but I am home for the rest of the evening. So I think I will go ahead and make applesauce. I think I'm going to wait on making more pizza sauce for later on. But applesauce is something we're completely out of. So I am going to go ahead and use some apples that we froze. We have them in the freezer that I intended to use for apple butter. But we need more applesauce more than we need apple butter right now. So I'm going to turn those into homemade applesauce. And then maybe, just maybe, if I have enough energy, I will work on the carrot cake. If not, maybe that'll be another video. So we'll just see. But guys, something just came in the mail. I haven't even told Ella that. Her high school diploma came in the mail, and it's just getting real. Over the weekend, we did senior pictures. Her cap and gown came last week. So my sister-in-law is a photographer. And so she did some senior pictures for us on a Saturday. But also with all that, I can't remember if I've already told you this, I'm sorry. But her senior prom is this weekend. And it's actually like, we homeschool. And so it's like a homeschool formal, but it's her senior year. So it's her senior prom. So we've got that to look forward to. Busy week, fun week. Tim and I are going to a benefit banquet this week. So just a lot to look forward to. And like I said, a really busy week. And I'll give you want a sneak peek of her dress? Let me show you. Give y'all a little glimpse at it, because I don't want to take anything away from what she's going to share. But isn't that so pretty? Coincidentally, the formal is on St. Patrick's Day this year. And she wanted the green dress before she even went in there. She was just thinking, I really want a green dress this year. It was the first one that I put my hands on. I said, oh my gosh, this is so gorgeous. And in my head, I was thinking, just watch. We'll probably walk out of here with the first dress that we try on or look at. And that's exactly what happened. So she's excited about it. And I think she's gonna be absolutely beautiful in it. I can't wait. So lots going on. Fun week around here. But today we're gonna get some things done. So let's make some applesauce. All right, so a little change of plan. I'm gonna do something else while I wait on these apples to thaw a bit. I thought with them being that frozen, they're probably going to produce a little water when they thaw. And I normally add water to the applesauce. So I wanna let them thaw a little bit just so I don't add too much water. So we can always add in more, but we can't take water out. So, and we like a little bit of a thicker applesauce. So I think I'll let those thaw a minute. And while we're waiting on that, I am going to start some more seeds. I just couldn't help myself, y'all. We went to Tractor Supply to get some chick food, and I had to pick up another one of these burpee seed start trays because it was just so easy. And since I already had sprouts coming from the first tray I got, which I hope will be the case with our reusable trays, I decided, I got bit by that bug I was telling y'all about. Every time I walk in, I see new seeds that I want to try. Anyway, just going to embrace it. So I thought, and I've been talking about this before, that I would like to try some celery seeds. Now, I think these might need to go into the ground as opposed to being started. But you don't know if you don't try, right? Let's see. I think I'm going to start a few of these just to see, because they can't really go into the ground until April. So we'll see what happens. Oh no, I'm sorry. I looked at it wrong. March to April. Okay, so maybe they can go into the ground. All right, I'm gonna think about this one, but I am gonna start some basil seeds. I'm gonna start some lavender, and I'm gonna start some chamomile. So those are 3 things that I thought might be fun to start. Okay, I did some research in this book, which I love. If you are a gardener, get your hands on this book, Farmer's Almanac Vegetable Gardener's Handbook. It was gifted to me by my cousin, and I have enjoyed it for years, and it's just so full of information on everything that you want to grow, and I love it. I reference it every year. So having done so, it did suggest on the celery that it has a longer growing season, so it suggested to soak the seeds overnight in water to speed up germination. So I'm gonna do that. They're in a bowl back here. I'll let them soak overnight, so I'll leave a little bit of space to put those in tomorrow. But for now, I think I'll go ahead and start our squash because I didn't. I was just gonna direct sow those, but you know, we got the space now. I'm just gonna go ahead and start a couple of squash. And then we'll do our herbs like the chamomile, the lavender, the basil. The only one I wanted that I could not find was thyme. I've already started rosemary. And that was the only one that I wanted that I could not find. So I think that will do it for this tray. Still not completely thawed, but they're thawed enough where I think they'll be fine as they cook down. So this is, I think this was, let's see. It was enough for 1 batch of apple butter. As I said, I needed 2 bags for apple butter. So I'm gonna say this is about 16 cups of apples. Break them up a little bit so we can get the lid on. These are from the apples that we picked at the orchard back in October. This one. And we made lots of apple butter, lots of applesauce. We made apple pie filling. We made filling for the hand apple pies, the fried apple pies, and we still had some left over. So, and we ate a lot of apples just to have on hand to eat. So this is left over from that. I'm going to add about a cup of water, I think. Now, typically I would have added a cup and a half. So 1 cup of water, and we'll let that go ahead and start to cook down. So I'm gonna turn my heat on about a medium heat. Just let that heat up, and then once all that cooks down to the consistency that I want, in fact, I might leave the lid off just so I can watch it, then we add the rest of our ingredients. So that's gonna take us probably a good half hour or more. All right, so I went ahead and cooked our apples until they were soft. I'm gonna turn the heat off, and now we're gonna add in the rest of our ingredients, and there aren't very many. So you can add anywhere from a half a cup to a cup of sugar to your applesauce, just depending on how sweet you want it. This is a 1/4 cup scoop, and I think I'm just gonna do half a cup of sugar, so I'm gonna use 2 of these. And then, this is also optional, you could add in cinnamon, and we like the cinnamon in there. So I'm gonna do probably about 2 teaspoons maybe. That mixed together. Then the last ingredient is lemon juice, and you especially want to add this if you are going to can your applesauce. I would add it either way just because it helps with the coloring of the applesauce, but also you need the lemon juice for the acidity when you water bath can. So I'm gonna add in just a couple of tablespoons. All right, and that's it. That's all the ingredients of applesauce. And we're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna finish mixing in all these ingredients, and now I'm going to get the heat going again. And I just want it to simmer for about, I really don't know, 20 to 30 minutes maybe. We'll just check it. It's really until it gets to the consistency that you like. And I really can't remember how long that's gonna take, but I don't think it takes too long for us. But we'll just let that cook on down, and I'll bring you back when it's ready to get into the jars. Also, if you'd like to see a full video of how we make applesauce, I'm gonna link that down below. I have the full video on one of my playlists, so I'll link that for you, and you can see the whole process, the whole canning process. I may not take you through that step by step today, just for the sake of the length of this video, but you'll have that if you would like to make this and have all the details for it. All right, so I let our apples go ahead and cook down quite a bit. We like our applesauce chunky, but there is a little bit more chunkiness than I want, so I'm gonna take my immersion blender and I'm gonna get some of that smoothed out. So that is perfect. And we got the consistency that we want. I love my immersion blender, Susan and Kent. Thank you again. I think about you every time I use it. Okay, so if you've watched any of my canning videos in the past, you know how loud this canner is, so I will talk over it. I was able to get 5 pint jars of applesauce out of this recipe. I was expecting 6, but you know, you just never know. But 5 is better than 0, so I'm happy with that. One of the jars I didn't fill up all the way, so I'm not gonna can this one. This one's just gonna go in the fridge. In fact, we might just enjoy it with dinner tonight, and I'm sure it'll probably be gone by tomorrow. But I'm gonna go ahead and can these 4 jars. And yes, I know it seems like a lot of work to heat this canner up for 4 jars, and probably should have thought ahead and maybe made that pizza sauce today, but it's okay. But I am going to, I've got a little bit left in the bottom of our pot here, and I've been nibbling on it. Guys, it's so good. This applesauce is so simple. Apple, sugar, water, cinnamon, lemon juice, and it's delicious. So it won't last long. I have to hide these sometimes, but as soon as we get more apples, I mean, we may just go ahead and buy some apples and make our applesauce, or we might just consider this a treat that we get part of the year and wait until we get our fresh apples in the fall. I don't know, but either way, if you're looking for some good applesauce, this is a great recipe, easy too. All right, we got our jars. Our applesauce is canning in our water bath canning. It's gonna process for about 20 minutes. But I wanted to show you that I picked up this brown rice at Aldi, and it's a quick cook brown rice. We're gonna serve that tonight with dinner. I'm gonna do some salmon bites. I have a video on these that I will also link down below. I made them, I guess it's been a couple months ago. They were absolutely delicious. And I didn't make that many because the family, I think, maybe had something else to eat. They weren't quite sure about the salmon bites, but they were so good that I decided to make more this time and to just make that our main dish tonight. So we're gonna do the salmon bites, some brown rice, and then also I'm gonna roast up some of these vegetables. I picked these up, I think, at Food Line, but it's just red potatoes, carrots, onions, zucchini. I thought they would be nice to have on hand for a quick dinner. So I'm gonna throw those with the salmon, the rice. That will make like an excellent bowl, I think. And I don't know what else we'll put with it. We're not gonna have time to make the carrot cake tonight, so we'll just have to wait on that. Oh, we'll have the applesauce to go with it. I think that's perfect, great dinner. I went ahead and placed our frozen vegetables on the baking sheet. All you do is just drizzle some olive oil over top and then add salt and pepper. I did a little bit of our garlic herb seasoning, and then these are going to go into the oven at 450 degrees for about 20 minutes, just until they're roasted. So tonight I'm gonna use the wild caught pink salmon. I picked this up from Aldi as well. And it comes in the little individually wrapped packages, which are perfect if you only want 1 or 2 for a serving. And I have definitely done that before, but because tonight this is our main meat dish, I'm gonna go ahead and cook all of them. So you get 6 fillets in a pack. Some are larger than others, I've learned. And look, this meal they show on the front, that's kind of what our meal is gonna look like tonight, minus the asparagus. Well, and those are tomatoes. So no asparagus and tomatoes, but definitely some vegetables, some good vegetables. Okay, y'all, I told you got 6, but you only get 5. Or at least there were only 5 in this pack. I really did think that I had gotten 6 before, but I guess not. All right, and then now we're just going to cut these into bite-sized pieces. So maybe like 1-inch pieces. And I like to cut them when they're a little bit frozen. They slice so much easier. And I don't know if I told you this part, but we're gonna cook these up in our air fryer. Okay, so I'm gonna add these to our bowl here, and then we're just gonna toss them in some seasoning. All right, and so again, I think I used this last time. I'm gonna use the seasoning we have on hand, which is Kinder's Buttery Steakhouse Rub. And it says on the back that you can use it on just about anything. So we're gonna use it on our salmon tonight. And I'm gonna get them really nice and coated in the seasoning. Now, the original recipe that I saw, and I think I told you guys this last time, they use like a blackening seasoning. So if you have that, definitely use that. I just never think to look for it when I'm at the store. So you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna use what we have, right? We're gonna use what we have, and they're gonna be delicious. All right, so that's our oven that tells us it's ready for our veggies. So in they go, 450 for 20 minutes. Here's my air fryer basket. We have a microwave that it actually is a microwave convection oven and an air fryer. And so I use that to air fry. My guess is that it would be about the same as a standard air fryer. But you could play around with it. I'm going to actually use a piece of parchment paper. I'm gonna cut this one. I don't like to waste parchment paper. I don't know about y'all. I'm going to just lay the parchment paper over top so that nothing falls through our holes, but that the heat and the air can still flow through there. And then all you do is just put it right on top of your parchment paper. Spread these out. You definitely want to spread everything out in the air fryer so that everything cooks evenly. And I think we are just going to have enough room with these 5 fillets. Any more than that, and I think it would be just too crowded. So I think that's going to be perfect. And then we're going to cook these in our air fryer at 400 degrees for 10 minutes. They look delicious. Can't wait to try these. Just pulled our salmon bites out of the air fryer. They look amazing. I'm going to go ahead and get them moved to a plate, and then we'll be ready to eat dinner. Well, I've already tried the salmon bites out. They are delicious. I nibbled on a few vegetables. So good. And the brown rice, I did end up adding just a little bit of butter to it. Tim and Alex are working on some stuff down at the chicken coop. And when they come in, we'll be ready to eat. But look at this rice. Looks delicious. And this is brown rice. So very healthy and quick and easy dinner. That is also delicious. You can't beat that. So I think all in all, we've had a very productive day. We got our applesauce made. We got more seeds planted and took care of a few things around the house. And I'm loving the fact that it is 6:33, y'all. It's 6:33, and can you see? It's still light outside. The sun was shining through just a few minutes ago. I love it. I love it when the time changes back. I wish we could just leave it alone. Anyone else feel that way? I just like having that extra hour of daylight. But I just wanted to tell you, you know, yes, sometimes things are challenging. Life gets challenging sometimes. And I shared the struggles that we've been having lately because I hope that our struggles will help someone else. I don't want you to think that I've got it all together, because I most certainly do not. In fact, that's about the farthest from the truth. And it's my faith in God that really keeps me going. If you're going through something today, I really encourage you to reach out for help. It's just good to know sometimes that you've got someone else that's been there, or that you have someone that would pray with you. And so if you need prayer, please reach out to me. I would love to pray for you. I will call your name out in prayer. My husband and I both will. And sometimes, like I said, it's good to know when I go through those difficult seasons, I love knowing that there's someone that's praying for me. So please let me know if there's any way that we can ever pray for you. And until next time, friends, remember to live simply, use what you have, and enjoy the moments you've been given. And I will see you in the next one. Take care, y'all.